Rudolph.
Hey, Dave!
Hey, Frosty.
Hey, Santa! Hey, Santa! Hey, Rudolph. Hey, Frosty. Hey, Dave.
Santa?
Christmas and the 4th of July are now mine!
And I'm going to say, hey, guys, how's it going? Welcome to Enthusiast Jam. It's a show about cartoons, cereal, conversation, and it's Christmas time here in July. And we're going to talk about Christmas in July because that's a thing, I guess, that people keep trying to make it a thing. I don't know. I've never participated in it, yet I'm probably one of the biggest Christmas nerds in the world. But hopefully I'm joined with some other big Christmas enthusiasts. Guys, tell us a little bit about yourself. And if anything, what's your 4th of July tradition? Because I realized recently, I don't know if everybody has like something that they do every 4th of July, like they do with Christmas. Do you? Joe, start off with
I
you.
do. I don't really. I thought about this. I don't really have any Fourth of July traditions. And when I was a kid, it really wasn't a big deal. I know the family would go to see fireworks, but I just never really been a huge into fireworks. They're fine. I'm happy they exist, but it's not like I'm gonna. I'm not. I don't really think about them beyond seeing them every so often. But as a kid, my buddy Rusty, who I'm still friends with to this day, his family would always make a trip to a local um, park, a local field, and watch this fireworks there. So for many years, I went with his family and was a part of their tradition. So that was fun. But for me personally, 4th of July, not a big deal. I'm also not as big a nerd for it as I am for Christmas, which is a thing that I've thrust upon myself.
Um, you're not alone in that. So you're in good company. Sai, what did you do for this 4th of July and how was that different from, did you have
I
childhood favorite 4th of Julys?
I didn't really do much for this 4th of July, but I did catch a glimmer of the fireworks out my window. I kind of feel like once you've seen fireworks, you've kind of seen them. So
Do you record your fireworks and watch them on your cell phone years later?
no, I just try to always get like the perfect firework picture, which is so hard to get. Yeah, and I've been to like the Macy's when they were on the
Oh,
Queen side one, so I was like, yeah, fulfilled my dream, done.
yeah, that's like a bucket list thing for some
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So I mean, it's
And
just usual. If I do anything, it's like a barbecue here and there, but like no big traditions around that.
and Dawn, was 4th of July a big part of your childhood? Would you stay up late
We're
like
a
with
bunch of very,
anticipation on 4th of July Eve?
we're a bunch of non-patriotic people or something because we're like, eh. It was a tradition when I was a kid to go see fireworks, sure. Um, and to bring it back to Christmas in July, we had, when I was a kid, growing up in Cleveland, we had a lot of really kick-ass block parties. Like it was like a big thing during the kid calendar year. You know, you get birthday at Christmas and you had a block party, and that was like, the big three. And we would often do a Christmas in July theme.
Wow.
And fun fact, there was a neighbor on my street who was the nephew of Bob Hope, and he was our he was our Santa.
What?
Hey, I sure hope you all had the best 4th of July of your lives and you saw a lot of old friends. You got all home safely, and
What?
I hope.
That's
So I have
amazing.
a picture of me and my sister sitting on the nephew of Bob Hope's lap with Santa one year.
Wow.
So yeah, Bob Hope was from Cleveland.
For a non-patriotic family, that's like as American as it
Well, yeah,
gets.
then I
'Cause, like
became an
Bob
adult,
Hope
and I'm
used to
like,
like always perform for the troops and was part of like the whole patriotic celebrity circuit. So
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, as an adult, it's just like worrying for my country. For 4th of July, it seems. And well, up until recently, calming the dogs with the fireworks. But
Yeah,
my
4th of July
new
is different
dog
for dogs.
couldn't care less about fireworks. Just doesn't care. It's just like thunderstorms, doesn't care. So it's weird to have a dog that just will sleep through the fireworks. So great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We should make sure everybody sees your shirt because
Oh
you've
yes.
got a sort of on theme shirt with a little bit of connection to your childhood.
Yes.
Because
Major awards. So anybody who knows a little bit about A Christmas Story, the movie, knows that a lot of it was shot in Cleveland, Ohio. And the house there has been revitalized and the whole block is taken over now by a museum, a gift shop. They even bought the house next door, the Bumpus's house next door, and you can rent out the house, Bumpus's house, or the actual Christmas Story house
oh wow,
for
like
a little
Airbnb.
money. You can rent it out on Christmas Eve and stay over there. But yeah, I've been there many times and it's always fun. It's a cute little tour. If you love Christmas movie magic and stuff, they really play it up. The tour guides are so good.
And I know because I have friends who just were there, I think as recently as a week ago, and they dressed up in like full bunny pajamas. So I imagine that
Yes,
lots of people
yeah.
kind of come in
Everybody, you
costume
could
or
try it right on. Yep, you could even climb into the little under the sink, the little cabinet that the little brother goes in with his glass of milk. You could cram yourself in there for a picture. It's just like this, all sorts of stuff like that. Little tidbits from the movie that you can involve yourself in. One of my favorites is on the second floor. There's a phone down the hallway from the bathroom that you can pick up, and it plays a recording of if you remember the movie where Ralphie uses the F word and then she
oh
has to
yeah.
call one of his friends' mothers, and you can hear the mother like whipping the crap out of the butt of this poor child. And yeah, you can pick it up and you just hear this like
Wow.
as the kid's getting it. It's
No, he heard it from your son.
hysterical.
That's so charming. I love
Child
when people
violence is so charming.
yeah, but it's nostalgia. It was back in the day. Everybody, was doing that. Everybody was doing it back in the day.
Everybody.
Well, speaking of nostalgia, I think that that's as good a segue as anything to talk about the movie that we're here to chat about today, which is Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July.
Sunday, Rudolph and Frosty together for the first time in a new feature-length movie at 7, 6 Central and Mountain.
What a neat idea.
Then at 8:30, 7:30 Central and Mountain, Mork's in uniform as a Denver Bronco cheerleader.
We all know that Rudolph had a very successful hit animated special. We all know that Frosty had a hit animated special, but I do not think everyone realizes that there was a full-length feature film where Frosty and Rudolph got together and shared star billing for this stop motion extravaganza? Question mark. Had any of you guys seen this movie before?
Not even a little bit.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
thought
Don, had
maybe
you?
the one that hadn't seen it.
Me either. I mean, I knew about Rudolph and
Sure.
Frosty separately.
Right,
not
but you
together.
didn't know about the sandwich that
Yeah.
was Rudolph and Frosty. Which, by the way, side note, this is the first time Frosty ever appeared in stop motion, which is the animation style that Rudolph was filmed in. So,
What a neat thing to happen to a nice guy like me.
if you've only seen Frosty in 2D, I think that's one of the selling points of this movie. I have a very strong connection to this film.
You grew up
It's-
with it, right?
well, it's interesting. I kind of did. I grew up with all of the, well, many of the Rankin Bass animated specials, but this one is one that I feel like I think there's almost like a spell on it that makes people forget about it. Like it just like, even if you have seen it, you forget about it. And every time I watch it, it's like, what? Huh? Wait a second. Oh, there's a lot of like confusion and then remember and then like and then it'll hit me like like just the wave of like, oh my god, I do remember this. And it's like it's very very powerful for me. In fact, there was we had a tape of it, and I remember that at some point my parents taped over it, most of it. And I don't know if this is like something that new generation will never experience, is watching something on tape and then it finishing and then kind of going a little scrambly texture. And then whatever you taped over reveals itself. And then you watch the last 20 minutes of what was, because like the timing didn't work out, right? So like they taped over 40 minutes of the movie and there's still 20 minutes left. So the last 20 minutes of the movie is like really sharp in my brain, but the first half, not so much because I didn't watch that as many times.
The last time I was on, we talked about another Rankin Bass special.
Correct.
And I have to ask this one. Well, my big takeaway from this is there's just so much lore they packed into this special.
Yes.
About the history of all of these characters, the world, origins. They're weird. There's a whale that shows up.
Yeah.
A clockwork whale.
Big Ben, the clockwork whale.
Who I love.
He shows up and is like, hey, what's up, old pal Rudolph?
In the water. Big Ben, the clockwork whale. Remember me? I worked for Father Time.
Sure, I remember. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then he brings in Jack Frost, and Jack Frost is like, what's up, Rudolph? How's it going? Did these characters appear in another special first?
Yes. So, okay.
Yes. In Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Yes, and also no.
What?
So the whale, 100%. That is the whale from Shiny New Year. Jack Frost gets complicated because Jack Frost has appeared in several Rankin Bass specials, and every single time he's almost a different character, but also kind of the same. Like there's clothing, like his outfit almost looks the same, but like his body type changes, his hairstyle changes, and his personality changes, and his voice changes. So,
Oh, you must be him! Jack Frost!
Oh, finally I'm getting some attention.
Jack Frost, what are you doing back? It's not even Christmas.
Don't worry, Snip. I've got everything frosted down there. Holly's snowflake.
So, do you want to think it's the same? This is a great segue to the fact that when I was in my 20s is when I really, really fell in love with Christmas specials, like hardcore. And at some point, someone asked me, I can't remember why, but I ended up writing a canon of these Rankin Bass specials because there's what year they came out, and that means nothing. But then there's this almost like continuity that you can kind of create between the specials if you're willing to overlook huge, glaring like contradictions.
They retconned a few things, right?
Yes, thank you. So that's what I meant to say, is that I think this special is the first time I ever even learned the concept of retconning. Like to me, this special or this movie is the definition of like retcon. Because let's just start off. So we've all seen Rudolph, the original special. We all know the song, which the special is based off. But right off the bat, this movie tries to tell us that there's a lot we don't know, and that like, behind the scenes, like Rudolph's had a whole other kind of magic system that was not apparent when you watched the first special, right? So and
1964.
In 1964. Thank you for knowing the dates.
Believe it or not, Rudolph's nose went out.
And all because of something that started years and years ago. And I mean years. Long before I came to the North Pole, all this territory was ruled over by a powerful magic king of the North Pole named Winterbolt.
Joe, you're right. It's like this movie right off the bat really wants to like dive deep into mythology. And that's something that all these specials have a little bit of, is like, let's make Christmas into Greek mythology. And we're introduced to this character, Lady Borealis, who is basically a human personification of the Aurora Borealis.
How little Winterbolt knows of the ways of Santa and children. There's more than just giving toys. There is kindness and the loving warmth of a family on Christmas morn. These things cannot die. I will not let them.
And we learn that she gave Rudolph his powers, which even to say the word powers is such a stretch, because what do we know Rudolph for?
Shiny nose.
He has an abnormal body part, and she bestowed this upon him.
Right.
Little one, I have so little magic left to leave thee. Use it wisely and well. On this small hoof, a magic mark I make. The Christmas star, cradled by a snowflake. And with this secret mark, the magic of the northern lights lives in thee.
So like in the original special, it's like a deformity. It's something that's like everyone teases him about, but we now learn that this is actually like a gift from God. Like it's like this like special magic, ability that only he has. And it's super important. And it's not just a coincidence that like Santa chose him to help him on that snowy day. And even that snowstorm, that famous snowstorm that made
Christmas Eve.
That turns out that there was an evil sorcerer named Winterbolt who was responsible for that storm.
Oh, eye of snow, what's this you show? A red-nosed reindeer? So that's how Santa defeated my snow dragons. It will be a different story next Christmas Eve. A red-nosed reindeer is no match for King Winterbolt.
Hey, it's really going out.
We need to set the table. This show,
Yes,
the movie
please.
starts out with our titular characters meeting.
Yes.
And then immediately,
which is so
Rudolph-
cute. Can I say I'm going to put this in the top 5 movie openings of all time, which is just Frosty.
There have been a lot of movies.
There have been a lot of movies. But how many movies have you sat down in the theater and as soon as the lights come on and the screen, the image starts and then 2 main characters go, "Hey!"
Hey, Frosty!
Hey, Rudolph!
What a great June day!
Positively balmy.
Jeez.
As if they're best friends. Like we've never seen them together. But right off the bat, it's like, catch up, guys. We're BFFs. Like you don't
There's
know
also
this?
a whole Frosty family.
Yeah. And
Where
our
did they
kids.
come from?
Now, to be fair, I'm such a nerd. I know where his kids came from. I know that Frosty has kids. I know that Frosty has a snow wife, as she is referred to.
Poor Frosty. Do you know what you need, Frosty? A wife.
What's a wife?
A Mrs. Frosty, you know? Someone you think is very beautiful, who thinks you're very handsome, and will love you back when you love her.
Gee, what a great invention.
I know that too, yes.
So Dawn, tell us a little bit. You've seen the Winter Wonderland, right? Frosty's Winter
Yes.
Wonderland.
Yeah, I remember. I haven't seen it recently, but I do remember it. I remember Frosty's wife and everything. But
also a 2D special, which, to be fair, I'm a kid of the 80s. I don't think I ever saw that aired on television, except like maybe late at night as part of like a 24-hour marathon of 25 days of Christmas.
It must have been. I don't know if it's aired today, like when they do all the Christmas movies. I think it's skipped right over, but I remember watching it as a kid like a couple of times. Enough that it stuck in my memory a little bit. I can picture some of the scenes from it.
Yeah, so the summary is
basically that Frosty had a wife and kids. I'm like, okay, I understand this. Yes. But
yeah, the children build him a wife because he's lonely, I think is the
So the children came first?
No. They make the wife. They make the wife.
I was like,
they build him.
So you don't mean his children built the wife. You mean the human children.
Sorry, yes, human children.
Yeah.
Yes, human children. Yeah.
I was like, that's really crazy that his own kids built their mom.
It's pretty crazy, but it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Would you light up your nose for us, Uncle Rudolph? Just once, please. Okay, just once.
So they have a whole family, and then
Chili.
Rudolph's nose goes on the blink.
Do you think Chili came first or Millie?
Chili and Millie.
Because that's the kids, right? Aren't they called Chili and Millie?
Chili and Millie, yeah.
So like
probably alphabetical.
Chili makes sense, but Millie's just like, well, we got to make a name that rhymes with chili.
Right. Yeah. I feel like that was like the obvious name. And you're like, oh, well, what else rhymes with chili that's like cold or something? And Millie's fine.
Yeah, but she's kind of left out because it's like Frosty,
yeah,
Crystal, Chili, but they're just like, Millie.
The redhead stepchild, what do you want?
Yeah, they were really hoping the daughter was going to be human, and it just didn't work out.
Rudolph's nose is immediately on the blink, and it's never explained why. He just all of a sudden he can't light his nose up, and you're trying to think, oh man, some bad stuff's going on. And then we get a flashback, and then we get kind of a further flashback because Santa's like, guess what? This all started years ago.
Right.
And you go back to eons before Santa existed.
Like pretty much before time itself, because it's like
there's so many callbacks in this movie. It's not even funny.
Winterbolt's an evil winter king of the North Pole. He runs people away
before
to the point where the light in the sky, Aurora Borealis, has to come to human form to put a stop to him.
Yeah, she's like, enough. Like, you have been doing this for so long, and people have been miserable, and like, we need to like give people a break.
Yeah, stop terrorizing the people of the North.
Right.
So she puts him to sleep, and then she's like,
sleep.
It's not going to last forever. I need to bequeath some power onto a baby reindeer. She shows up. Rudolph has apparently just been born. His mom is tired, goes to sleep. This woman shows up in their home and is like, little baby, here, you have to do this. And you can't tell anybody, which is bad etiquette. You don't tell kids to keep secrets from their parents. And that's the first thing she does.
Yeah.
It's like, don't tell anybody about this imprint I'm going to put on your body. A snowflake.
She basically brands him, right? Like it's like a cattle brand.
Yeah.
or like a horseshoe branding.
And then they
by the way, if I ever had it, I've always said if I ever got a tattoo, it would be on my foot of a snowflake with a heart inside it. So anybody who watched the special, you'll know what that is.
So we'll know if anything bad's happened if it disappears.
Yeah. What did you do?
Hey, that funny little mark on your hook. The star inside the snowflake. It's gone.
Yes, I know.
So then they have the Rudolph song as we get a montage of Rudolph's life.
That's
but they
like recap.
skip all of the bullying, all of the terrible things that have happened to Rudolph, and we just go to him saving the day and helping Santa out in the storm. We now learn it was created by the reawakened Winterbolt.
Real quick though, for the nerds, like for the hardcore nerds for me, that is a recap of the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special, but they already start making changes to the continuity because in the original special, Rudolph is not part of the sleigh team. He is an outcast. He has been spending time in the island of misfit toys, and then he comes back to the castle when the storm is already kicking.
Right. He wasn't in a stable waiting for
not
his
hanging out in the
yeah.
right.
I noticed that too. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that bothers me a lot.
I'm like, what's he doing hanging out there? When did that happen?
If he's not accepted by Santa and the crew, then why is he hanging out in the stables?
Yeah, who let him in?
I think he even has a little name tag. Like that's just
right.
mean.
Like he was always there.
Yeah,
like, they're whitewashing history here.
Oh, a lot.
We also find out that after Rudolph is brought in to the reindeer team, Santa fired another reindeer.
Right.
Scratch. He fired this cat.
I was all set to be one of Santa's reindeer when he came along.
Indeed. Santa fired you to make room for Rudolph?
Well, I also stole some toys and ate a whole new batch of candy canes.
Candy, excellent.
It was all downhill from there, till I finally ended up in this joint.
Good.
Who loves Scratcher?
And
hands up if you're a Scratcher stan.
No, you're the miscreant. I don't like Scratch at all.
He's the derpy reindeer.
Yeah, he's very derpy. You're so right about that. And he looks more like a dog than a reindeer.
Got these big buck teeth.
He's like,
yeah, his voice is ridiculous.
I feel like in a world of like cartoon villains, though, he feels the most real. Like usually cartoon villains are very like mustache twirly, whatever. Whereas he's just like manipulative and just like sarcastic and just sort of has this sort of like insecurity thing that he's playing. Like he's just like playing on people's guilt.
Troll.
He is a troll. Yeah.
Troll.
Yeah.
Derpy troll to the rescue.
So I felt like he aged real well. Like I was like, yeah, I know that guy.
Did you realize how quickly Rudolph remembered him? Oh yeah, I remembered you.
You're not a friend of mine.
But that's another like they already have history. Like they established minute like one, they're like these two guys have history. Rudolph and this guy have history. There's drama that's happened off camera. But I love the passive aggressive way that Scratcher's like, oh, you remember little old me, huh? Like, you know, like the famous Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer still remembers the common folk. Good, you know, like.
Hey, Rudolph.
Huh? Scratcher?
Oh, the big star remembers his old buddy.
We were never buddies.
Let bygones be bygones.
What's the matter?
Boy, I am really down and out. Haven't had a bite to eat in 3 days. Think you could get me a job with the show?
Yeah, Rudolph was like, we weren't friends. Go away.
So Scratch is a part of Winterbolt's very intricate plan.
Very time-sensitive plan.
He wants to, I'm going to see if I can remember all the parts. He wants to get people to go to the circus that Milton, the Sky Ice Cream Man, goes to.
Hey, it's Milton.
Oh,
The Flying Ice Cream Man. He keeps his stock up here where it won't melt.
Because his girlfriend, Lainey, works there because the circus is in debt. And he already figures out if I can get Rudolph to go there, I can manipulate him. So Rudolph and the Frosty family go to the circus. And then while there, he sets them up to pretend like Rudolph did something bad because he can't use his powers for bad. He loses his powers, which, by the way, doesn't matter. That's not his goal at the end. He's like, it doesn't really matter that you lost your powers.
But look at how well Winterbolt set it up. He grabs this like handful of snow and like does his evil thing where he whispers like ideas into characters' head and they like fall like snowflakes.
Which is very powerful. Like that's
it's so powerful.
But think about the fact that he'd
how
already
Milton got that idea, because it doesn't seem like Milton's smart enough to come up with such an idea on his own.
I don't know what to do.
Hey, I
just got a great idea.
No. So,
No.
and also in this,
I mean, even Santa's not smart enough to come up with the ideas that he comes up with, because you find out that Winterbolt's manipulating almost everybody in this.
Yeah.
Frosty. At least 3 times. Yes,
yeah,
Frosty.
Frosty, the Milton, and Santa.
What also this movie highlights is the fact that Milton is giving the idea that this church, which is going under, and is going to be bought by a civilly guy. Well, not church, circus. It's going under. And he knows that if I can get Rudolph and Frosty there, I can further my plan. And so he gives the idea to Milton that, hey, if I bring these people there, people will want to see them because they're celebrities in this world. Rudolph and Frosty are somehow celebrities.
Okay. Can I just
so that's what I was wondering too. Like, is this movie more of like a sequel, or are we in like a multiverse kind of thing?
It's 100% a multiverse. Definitely. Yes. Like when I first saw this, obviously we didn't know about Marvel movies yet and stuff, but it is very much like the Marvel Avengers of Christmas movies. But can I just say, like, this is just a reveal about me as a person and my relationship to Christmas. As this plan is coming into like the gears are starting to move, and the evil wizard says, hey, if you, Rudolph, go to the circus and perform and help the circus, like that would be really good for the circus. Like the circus is having a hard time, so this would be really great. And the ice cream guy is like, oh my God, you could save the circus by going there and being a celebrity, making a celebrity appearance at the circus. The whole time I'm watching that, I'm stressed out because I'm like, is he going to ask for Santa's permission? Like, Santa is supposed to be a secret. Like, what? Like, no one's supposed to be Santa. Like, Rudolph's allowed to just go off, but luckily then they do have Rudolph actually ask for Santa's permission. I was like so happy. Like I was
Rudolph,
like, oh,
Frosty, a grown adult, and Milton, another grown adult, all ask Santa for permission, seemingly for all 3 of them to go to the circus.
Because Santa's their boss. Like, of course, like you work for
But
Santa.
Milton then says if Santa comes, even more people want to go there. Why? Apparently Santa's a celebrity. So Santa is known.
Right.
He's like, if Santa shows up, even more people will want to see it.
Yeah. Well, that is the interest. But that's so like, if I want to buy into the reality of this world, which I do, that's where I'm like, this ice cream guy must be a real bro. Like this must be like a friendship that is like, he's a real homie, because for Santa to basically, like, Santa's had this whole history of never revealing himself to people, but he's like, but for the ice cream guy, I will break that rule and I will make a public appearance. I'll sign autographs. I'll take selfies.
Stores his ice cream in the North Pole.
And he travels to it via a hot air balloon, which cannot be timely.
Nothing in this movie.
He extra supply for the ice cream runs to boost the sales for the circus by the sea.
So they want to get everybody goes to go to the beach where the circus is going to be set up for the 4th of July fireworks, because it's going to be a big show. They can make a lot of money. And Frosty's like, man, I wish I could go. And his family's like, that would be good. And his kids are like, oh, we'd love to see fireworks. And he's like, guys, we're going to melt. And his wife is like, I totally forgot about that. I didn't even think about the fact that we would melt. That's a great point. And then Winterbolt shows up and gives them some ambulance to say, like, hey, if you go, you guys will be fine.
Magic amulets. If Frosty, Crystal, Millie, and Chili wear them about their necks, they cannot melt.
And then they notice that there's these 4 Fs on the
I forgot about
the amulets. Final firework fades on the 4th is by the time they have to be home, like it's Cinderella.
Brought to you by the letter F.
Yeah.
And they agree. And Santa's like, you know what, guys, don't even worry about it. I'll come pick you up so that there's no chance you're going to melt.
Yeah, but I mean, Frosty's really like, I don't know, guys. Like, he has this nagging feeling like things are just not going to work in his favor. And he gets like peer pressured by his family.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Daddy, we really need to see fireworks in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So.
And this gets so dire that Santa and his wife eventually get lost in a black storm.
What could destroy us? We've got to get back! Back! Dasher! Dancer! coming!
It's too late, Papa. It's got us.
Hold on, Mama!
They can't find their way out because of Winterbolt, and he doesn't show up to pick them up. And then there's a scene where the Frosty family has to come to an understanding that they're all going to die. And they're all talking about this. Like, you know what, guys, it's been great knowing you. I'm really glad we've been a family.
It got serious real quick. I'm like, you're going to make all these children cry watching this movie. This is horrific.
We promise to be brave, Mommy.
I'm very proud of you.
75.
Oh, Frosty.
Look at the retcon part of that where suddenly Frosty can count past 4.
Oh, they do mention that. Was that a thing?
Dude, good.
In
good
the other 2
callback.
movies,
Good
he couldn't count past 4. Now he's like 75, 76. Oh, my time's coming.
Yeah, then he knows
definitely retcon that part too.
I can count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 6, 8. Well, I can count to 5.
During the scene where they're waiting for the last firework, they give us a number. There's 100 fireworks to go. And he starts counting them. So we get all these updates. There's 40-some, there's 70-some. Eventually he gets up to the 90s. And
but quick,
he becomes so stressed out.
Stop for a second. I want to know, honestly, were you worried about Frosty? Were you concerned?
Not even a little bit.
Aww.
Did I think that Frosty was going to die like the rest of his family, and they do die in the movie? No, I didn't think that was going to happen. I did not think that was going to happen. And I was proven right for a little while. And then it did happen, and they all died. But until they died, I was like, they're not going to kill Frosty and his family and his 2 children.
Right.
Everything goes according to plan.
Wasn't like the actual Frosty death scene like a callback to his movie? His first movie?
I mean, he melts into a puddle. Yes.
Yeah, but isn't there someone like crying over his puddle like Lainey does?
Yeah, the little girl, Karen.
Means those amulets are no good either. Frosty! Crystal! Lainey, what happened?
Well, the sun came out, and they just look.
Oh, gee whiz. Oh, after all we went through, I should have realized. It's too late now. When Frosty melts, nothing can help except a magic December wind to unmelt him. And this is July.
Yeah.
It was just way more dramatic in this one.
Yeah,
Right, so that's what I was trying to get at, Dawn.
There were 4 puddles.
Is like, look, we know it's a kid's movie. Nothing bad will ultimately happen. But I feel like they were trying really hard to rack it up the stakes. Like they were putting the heat on Frosty. And the acting on Frosty's behalf, like I believed it. Like he was worried, and like I felt it.
Prior to the family dying in one mass group, they did have Winterbolt say, you know what, this is a good idea. Everything's worked out. It doesn't really make sense still what's going to happen, but he's like, hey, Stan is trapped in a dark storm. Rudolph doesn't have his light in his nose because he's committed a felony accidentally, and I got everything going my way. And then Frosty's like, man, I'd do anything to be able to fix this. And he turns to his genie of the ice scepter, which is a ice wall that gives him advice, his magic mirror.
Sort of like Snow White's magic mirror.
And he says, like, is there any good reason to take Frosty up on a deal? And he's like, yeah, Frosty has a magical hat, which brings him to life. If you took that hat, you could multiply the magic and make an army of snowmen. He's like, that's a great idea. I'll do just that.
But let's pause to talk about the ice scepter.
Yeah.
That thing
cool.
is
cool.
so creepy.
I'd buy a
yes.
But I must say the actor playing him, is known to us all as Tony the Tiger.
Oh no, it's Tony the Hot Tiger is the magic mirror thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same actor.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
That was a great design. The wall had a really cool look to it.
Everything had a good design. Like that's
Yeah.
I don't care like whether people like this movie or not. Like the designs are solid. Like they look really, really cool. Like Winterbolt himself looks really cool. The snakes that he slides around, like he hangs with those like evil snakes. And
The rain snakes.
Oh,
the rain snakes.
We forgot the snow dragon.
Slink away all.
The reason why Santa can't ride in his sleigh on that famous historic Christmas Eve was because snow dragons blew that storm.
Build fury in your hearts.
Those dragons are cool.
Obviously.
They are cool.
Yeah.
So
The little
Winterbolt.
snakes, I couldn't stop thinking he's got a sperm sled.
Every sperm is sacred.
It's like, what's going on here? That's all.
He was like, instead of reindeer, I'm going to have rain snakes. And there's just a little group of snakes that lead his sleigh through the sky.
And they cackle and laugh.
They're evil snakes.
Like,
I was
yuck when I
dying.
saw that scene. I was like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes where the snakes are like, you could tell that they're really sadistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Especially
He
when
gets
that
some
one
time to
jumps
shine.
on Rudolph as he's trying to get the hat back, Frosty.
Yes.
And he just like jumps on him. And Rudolph's like, whoa.
Wait, can we just rewind back? I mean, we're going through this so fast. I just want to take a moment because, like, you're talking like a lot of the magical aspects of Winterbolt's plan, which are very sort of like, fantasy oriented, but at the heart of it is a theft. This basic plan to basically trick Rudolph into stealing cash from the circus. Like the circus has an office where they keep the cash that they make, from selling tickets.
All this fuss over a little suitcase. What's inside?
Well, she didn't say. Just pick it up and give it to the cop waiting on the corner.
Okay, but... Hey, this bag is filled with money. The night's receipts.
Oh, that's why she wants to give it to the cop. So he can take it to the bank and make a night deposit.
Well, okay.
And there's supposed to be a police, there's a cash drop off, like in there. You're supposed to take the bag and put.
But look who they rope into this scheme.
Yeah.
Sam Spangles, very patriotic name, don't you think?
Oh, I didn't make. Yes.
Yeah, Sam, Uncle Sam, Spangles, Star Spangled.
Me, Sam Spangles, a policeman.
Here he comes. Hi.
See, I was bothered by him because he looks so much like the magician from.
Yes.
That's not fair. I mean, we evil magicians have to make a living too.
Yes.
And there are so many other, as we soon see, like callbacks to other specials and random cameos. But he is not. He's a new character that only exists in this movie. Just happens to look so much like the evil
Frosty
magician
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Professor Hickle or whatever his name was.
Speaking of patriotism, I wanted to point out
some good jokes
before they go off to the circus. Frosty is like, guys, like we can go to the circus, but we can't stay for the fireworks because when the fireworks end, we will end. And they say, really, you don't want to see the fireworks? And he goes, not only do I not want to see them, I wish they wouldn't go off. And then the kid says, aren't you patriotic?
I love that one.
Frosty says, I am patriotic. I regret that I only have one life to melt for my country.
One life.
But I am worried about this. Now,
Melt for my
mindful, Frosty is not from America. And yet Frosty's like, 4th of July is in my icy veins.
Wait, where's
Right.
Frosty
This
from?
is so America-centric. And these
North Pole.
characters have
He's
nothing
from
to
there.
Well, he lives in the North Pole now, but he was born in like some, I'm going to say some town junction. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
Right? So like when the kids
That's true.
first
Down on Main
built
Street,
him,
USA.
yeah.
I wonder why he moved.
Well,
It was just a better lifestyle for him and his family. He was growing
Better
up.
schools.
Yeah.
Universal health care.
Yeah. The temperature was better too.
So that bit in the movie when he's like, "Aren't you patriotic?" to his dad, I'm like, "Wow, this is wild. This
The
came out
guilt,
of nowhere."
the guilt. Actually,
So,
I
but
laughed.
yeah.
I laughed out loud at that. I actually thought that was like. There's only like 4 or 5 jokes that are like I feel like fully intentional that actually hit, and I thought that was one of them.
Yeah, even when he says tonight there's gonna be a real wet act, and it won't be the seals.
So Frosty has when he comes back to this plan, Frosty's like, I got to save my buddy Rudolph. He's committed a crime. He's lost his power. How can I help him? Winterbolt gets the idea to take his hat, and then he does. He just takes the hat, and Frosty becomes lifeless. And then the part that stuck with me is Frosty, his family, his kids, they see him like this. And the mom's like, no, don't look at your father.
Don't be
Please
traumatized.
remember him as he was. And she's trying to cover their eyes.
So dramatic.
It was so awful.
That part was horrible. It's just like, your father's dead, don't look.
And then it gets better only for them all to die.
When you did not really expect it this time.
No, I thought, they pulled the rug out from him. He became lifeless husk. Oh no, he came back to life. Oh no, they're all gone.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like they tried really hard to make it super dramatic, and for a little kid, I remember feeling that. Like, I remember the scenes where they basically frame Rudolph. Like, it's like they trick Rudolph into stealing the money and then dropping it off with the criminal. But then everybody turns on him. Like they're like the Rudolph. I mean, Frosty's family very quickly are like, sorry, Rudolph, we
don't want
can't
to be associated with you.
Yeah, and the kids are like, "Why'd you do it, Frosty? Why?"
With tears, like, what?
Yeah.
So
I remember as a
Can't
kid
admit
being
it.
like, really,
He can't admit it. That's the whole point. Is he has to take on this guilt,
right?
even though he knows he didn't do it on purpose and he was tricked into it. But if he admits it, they all die. So,
which I think is powerful. Like, I think that's as a writing technique like that is really successful because
it's a sophisticated concept. I think.
yeah, it's really frustrating to be like, why? Because even like Frosty becomes the proxy for that, where he's like, just tell him, Rudolph. Like, and he's like, shut up, Frosty.
Yeah, so Winterbolt offers an extended warranty on the ambulance to Rudolph so that the family doesn't die when the fireworks end. So the only way he does that is that you can't tell anybody that you didn't mean to commit this crime.
Right.
And the crime, again, was he was set up by Scratch, the nasty reindeer, who worked with Sam Spangle to get the money from the circus. Sam Spangle's cool with that because that means he gets to buy the circus because they don't make any money. And the story they tell Rudolph is, don't you understand, they were going to give the receipts, the door gate of the circus. They were going to give that to the police officers to put in the bank. And I thought, well, Rudolph is stupid. Rudolph doesn't know that that's not what people do in the real world. They don't just give policemen their money to take to the bank. But then we find out at the end that was what was supposed to happen.
Police do get escorted, like some companies do have like security escort you to like drop off the, like when I worked at Staples, we would have like a security officer escort one of the employees to the bank to drop the cash off. So it is
find out at the end of the
based in
special,
reality.
that was what was supposed to happen. Because the real police officer shows up and
at
says,
the end, yeah.
I was supposed to take the money.
Real cop came.
Yeah.
And
Oh, thank you, me fine lad. Well, off to the bank.
And
like,
Sam
okay,
Spangle somehow knew that when he impersonated a cop, he should do an Irish accent. It's so interesting that he would.
I did
But Rudolph knew something was off because he goes, Frosty, do policemen normally wear helmets?
Yeah.
So he kind of knew something was off, but I guess he could put his little hoof on it and figure it out.
So then Rudolph can't say what he did wrong.
No.
He has to act like he did it. And like you said, Frosty's wife was like, I wouldn't want to associate with a common criminal like Rudolph. And
You're a bad influence on my kids.
Milton's girlfriend is like, why are you talking to Rudolph? He's a bad dude. He ruined tried to ruin my mom's circus. And Rudolph is just a cast off. And he walks into the
misfit.
Yes. Okay, look, speaking of misfits, there was the Island of Misfit toys in the Rudolph special, right?
Correct. Yep.
There was a similar entity in this, and it's called what is it called? I have it in my notes here. The Cave of Lost Rejections. which is where they find Scratch the reindeer.
I didn't pick this up.
I
Oh,
didn't make that connection.
no.
Yeah, because the ice wall, the genie of the scepter is like, go to the cave of lost rejection.
Oh yeah.
You'll
I
find
The
the
noticed
Bobo
evil
brand of
reindeer.
Misfit, the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah, I was confused by that
Knockoff brand.
because that like they kind of play it like it's a prison, but they also play it like it's like a dorm because he's
he
like
has to pay rent.
he's supposed to pay
And
rent.
Scratcher was behind.
Hmm.
And then when he was like, make me to Winterbolt, and then he was like, all right, I'll pay. And he's like, I don't want your money.
Yeah, it's a very interesting bit that I keep forgetting about. So it's
There's just all these thrown away exist. I mean, are they all criminals? Because Scratch admits that he did steal, and that's why Santa really fired him. Not because Rudolph joined the crew, but he did steal a little bit.
So Lily Lorraine can't believe that Blinky would take her
which
money.
we've skipped over her, by the way. And then I will just say real quick, like a lot of these Rankin Bass specials have like celebrity doing kind of like it's supposed to be like a big deal that they
like
got
the
this
character too.
Right, they base the character on the celebrity, and it's kind of like a big deal that they're in the movie. We talked about that. Joe and I talked about this in the Easter special, which had Danny Kaye, which everybody of our generation loves Danny Kaye. But I feel like Ethel Merman,
and Mickey
she was an MVP in this movie.
Well, I gotta give a pep talk to the clowns. Hang in there, Blinky.
Like, I do think she's great. I think she is like a very forceful personality. She doesn't have a lot to do, but she's great in the scenes that she's in.
But did you see the callback for her? How they kind of had her dressed like that Broadway play she did as Annie Oakley in Annie Get Your Gun.
Oh, Cowgirl. Okay. Yeah, I didn't connect that, but yeah.
That makes
I did notice. I didn't know the connection, but she's dressed up like a cowgirl, and when she finds out Rudolph and Frosty are coming, she fires her guns into the air.
Yeah,
and then she finds out Santa's coming. She fires her guns even more. We find out at the end she has blanks in the guns, though. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's not mentioned
a cool
early
scene,
on.
though. I actually think that's a cool scene when she's like she pulls out her guns to fire on Winterbolt, and the daughter is like, "But you're shooting blanks. That's not gonna do anything." She's like, "Yeah, but the guns are made out of iron," and she chucks the guns and like shatters his magic scepter with the steel of the guns.
This one looks like my job.
But Mama, there are only blanks in those guns.
Yeah, but the guns are made of iron.
I missed that that she said they were blanks.
So what is it?
Yeah.
Steel can just protect you from all the fantastic.
It's not even that. Like that's what I thought it was going to be, like the way that iron can affect like elves and fairies and stuff. But it's literally just they're heavy, so they shatter the
ice.
ice.
To break the ice.
Yeah, they break the ice.
So at the end of the show, Rudolph has regained Frosty's hat. Frosty's back to life. Everything's good. But then Winterbolt shows up and is like, "I'm not done yet. I'm still going to get my revenge somehow." And then Lily throws her guns at him, breaks his scepter, and he just dies in a really grotesque way.
Oh, he suffers, man.
He becomes a tree.
It's so cool.
Gone! When the scepter dies, I go too. I turn. I turn into a tree.
That was creepy.
Wasn't
that would
it
have freaked
creepy?
me out as a kid for sure.
Yeah, it did creep me out as a kid. That's when I watched that, I was like, I did have that sort of like trauma flashback of like, oh yeah, that's really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why he became a tree, because he was like some kind of ice king, and it's like without the power, he's like, I'm just a tree now.
I think it just looked cool, so they.
I mean, it did.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that he would
His
return
body
to
was
nature.
very, like, thin and spindly, so like a dead tree probably made sense.
Yeah.
So I was watching this with my partner, and neither of us remembered it at all. But I think at that scene, he's like, "Oh, I have seen this before." That was what brought it back.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is
It was like
there's a forgetful spell on it. Everybody forgets it until they see it, and then like it all flashes back.
Yeah, that little part was implanted somewhere in the back of your brain, and I mean for obvious reasons, because
A lot of the musical score too, like there's like these like scary kind of musical score, like every time the snakes show up and the dragons and stuff, and it's like very wintry, scary music, and that stuck with me as well. It kind of chills me to the bone when I hear it.
So I have a question aside.
Mm.
Did you guys already discuss the life and adventure of Santa Claus? Did I miss that episode?
Not as an episode, no, we haven't talked about it, but
Okay.
that's so just real quick, like Dawn and I, that's one of the things that we initially bonded over when we first met.
Yes. It was one of my one of my obscure favorites as a kid. And watching this movie felt like I was watching a continuation of that story. There's a lot of from that movie. If you like Lord of the Rings, you feel like you're watching a Lord of the Rings like a stop motion mashup with a Christmas movie, and it's very surreal and bizarre. And there were some of those themes I felt were carried over onto this. I mean, the wizards and dragons and fantasy, there was a lot of it. And
I think at this point
Thunderbolt is freaking Saruman. He's even
Yeah.
got Palantir. I mean, he's like Frost or Snow Miser and Saruman together. Like that's how I couldn't unsee Saruman from all those, but also has a mirror on the wall to talk to. So it was
I was
between these themes throughout.
I immediately watched The Year Without Santa Claus right after this.
So good. So good. Yeah, this was filmed, I think they made this in 1979 or 1980. So it's actually not that far apart from
It's as
when
old
they
as
made.
me.
I think they made the Life and Adventures of Santa Claus not too far apart from this, so that makes sense.
Yeah. It had a similar vibe to it. It was even more of a fever dream than the other one. And plus it's longer, so there's more story.
You know, there's a case to be made for both. I think they kind of I think they each have their moments of like weird darkness and cool creatures and
Yeah.
But
what I find interesting about this movie is that they actually released this on July 1st in 79. And it
Yeah,
was
there you
like a big box office like release.
Yeah, it was supposed to be viewed in July.
For, like,
I was
the
gonna say,
2
did
or
it make
3
money
weeks.
though?
But it flopped. It was considered like a flop for the 2-3 weeks that it was out. And so I think they like released it on TV like in November, right before they had like Jack Frost had his own movie. So was it like a little setup for Jack Frost before his movie in December?
Yeah, so I love the internet because now I could look things up and figure this stuff out, because that was always something that really confused me watching this, because I have said many times that Jack Frost is actually my most favorite of all the Rankin Bass specials. And I just have like a real strong fondness for the Jack Frost character in that specific TV special. So every time he shows up in one of these other things and he doesn't look exactly like that, I always like brush against it a little, like, not my Jack Frost. Like, that's not how I want him to be.
Your Jack Frost is 1979.
Yeah, and in this one, his hair is like, what is going on with his hair? It's just a hot mess. But it is like this weird halfway point, because if in Frosty's Winter Wonderland there is a Jack Frost in that, and he looks half like that and half like the Jack Frost of the later Jack Frost special. Yeah, Santa does finally show up. He's been in the storm the whole time. I made a note that Santa's like asleep at the wheel when he's like in the middle of the storm. Like, there's the scene where he's in the middle of the storm and it's like really bad, and he decides to just like sing a kind of like lazy, kind of wistful, nostalgic song, and he just kind of feels like he's just like drifting
dude,
up.
drive.
Yeah, it's like, dude, pay attention. You are in the middle of a storm.
The Santa story, the isolated Santa story, is a weird one.
Yeah.
Because his and his wife's, their story is basically they get asked for permission from two adults and a reindeer if they can go to 4th of July fireworks. And he and his wife say, you know what, that sounds good. You guys can do that. In fact, we're going to make a trip down there ourselves. We're going to have a nice little vacation ourselves.
Date night.
Yeah. And then they have a very mournful almost song together,
Yes.
talking about all of their
Another
Christmas Eves that they've spent together. Almost as if like, do you regret the time that you spent with me?
But they
And it's
also
like,
retconned a part of that story too. They did, because in this flashback to
Not a flash. It is not a flashback. That is a false memory, is what that is.
yeah, so like this whole thing where they get married in a church.
Yep. They
Not
made
true.
such a big deal about the fact that they did not get married in a church.
Yeah,
and
because
Santa Claus is
they
coming to
went to
town.
the North Pole and they were hiding or whatever, and they got married in the woods. So they retconned and I think her hair color was different.
Yeah, well, also the elves are different because that's one of the weird retcons that I always forget about, is that in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, they make a big deal about the Kringles, and they have they're very these like small little guys, and then Santa Claus, the year without a Santa Claus, they're a little bit taller, and that's when they establish Jingle and Jangle, the two elves that are like the stars of that, and then ever since then, whenever they show flashbacks of Santa, they insert Jingle and Jangle into those memories, even though they were not there. They do not appear in the original Santa Claus is Coming to Town. But
they do not.
Yeah, they do.
They appear in the year without Santa Claus.
Yeah, they have some George Lucas retconning happening there. Can we talk about the songs real quick? Because I think that's
my favorite one.
We do. We'll hold that thought because I have a favorite one too. But I would just want to say real quick that I think that if I'm being critical about this special, I'm also being critical about like our generation, because I think what's so interesting about this movie is like, this is a movie about nostalgia. And this is a movie because even by the time that this was filmed, the idea of the circus was like kind of outdated concept. Like, circuses were not that cool anymore. Television was big. Video games were big. Like, this is like, remember what it was like to be, and they're like, oh, kids should see fireworks. Like the simplicity of like, just like these ideas of just like romanticizing kind of like childhood in a like an old timey way. And like, everything is very old timey, like through that lens of like, almost like like the Main Street USA vibes, right? Of like the parade, like everybody like don't let the parade pass you by, all that stuff. And I feel like the songs really push that, because like there's at least 4 songs that are very slow, very like sentimental, very like, remember our lives,
nostalgic.
Yeah, they're just like in a way that like I don't think kids can relate to. So like clearly that's for the adults. So all I could think is like kids must have had amazing attention spans back then to like sit through this kind of stuff, because now I don't think they do. I think if you put this on for a modern kid, they'd be like, fast forward through that stuff. And that just makes me a little sad, but I get it.
To a modern day kid now, it's vintage.
One thing I noticed about the songs, and maybe it's just because I don't have a lot of experience with the different specials or deep memories of them, all the songs were for the most part seemed very short.
Yeah, they were
like there was just one set of lines and they were out of the song.
Which is actually one of the, I think that's one of the biggest compliments you can give this, is that for as many songs as there are, none of the songs overstay their welcome. I actually think almost all of them are pretty decent songs. Like I don't think there's like a really bad song in this. There's just a couple of like head scratchers, like why are they singing this song maybe? But they're not necessarily like the chick. What is it? The song?
That's my favorite. Chicken today, feathers tomorrow.
Chicken today and feathers tomorrow. One day is good and the next day there's sorrow. I don't care what, long as I got my guy.
Yeah, like
That's
it's like
my favorite one.
It's a little weird, right? It's a little weird, but it's cute. It's catchy, but it's a little like, huh, okay, what's going on here? My favorite song is when Rudolph sings "It's Like No Bed of Roses," because it's so sad. Like,
no bed of roses, no easy way for me. Go on without me, but if you change your mind, one thing about me, I won't be hard to find.
It's so sad. Like it is like
It's like very Kermit, like it's tough being green kind of song.
very, it's not easy being green. Yeah, that's a good
That was
comparison.
another callback too, I think, to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? With the Rose song. Because like I think there was like in his dressing room some picture.
Yeah, so there's a picture of Clarice, which they sing "There's Always Tomorrow" in that song, but that's the first time where I was like, the retconning is like the callbacks are really starting to come in, because that's when they show also a photo of Father Time, who's in Rudolph's Shiny New Year. Like you see a photo of him, which that to me is like so funny too, that like Rudolph is temporarily in the circus. Like it's agreed upon that he's only going to be in the circus for like a night or two, but he brought all his photos and like hung them up in the green room. Like like his green room is just filled with like all his stuff, which he keeps in his pockets.
His hooves have hidden compartments.
Well, they already had a hidden symbol, so who knows what else they have.
That's right. That's true. Rudolph's full of secrets.
No.
Skeletons in that closet.
So tell me more about the Big Ben, the TikTok or the clock whale.
Clockwork.
Because the whale comes in after Rudolph's been rejected by the circus folk.
And he specifically says, "Remember me?" That's his first.
Yeah, one. That's the thing. It's like, hey, what's up? It's me. I'm Big Ben.
Call back to Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
They say Big Ben. I look at it and I said, that looks like a clock, but it's not a clock. It's a whale. What's going on here? And so what's the deal with this whale?
So in that movie, he takes Rudolph because in Rudolph's Shiny New Year, the baby New Year is lost. So they have to go on this like journey back to when like the world started. So like
it's a time travel.
Ago. Yeah. So
adventure.
They go from different islands that have different years. And so Clockwork took him on this journey. So
that's interesting because they had a similar time jumping element in the Easter one.
Yeah,
they travel different points throughout the year.
Yeah, I think in that special I mentioned that there's a very similar plot line with the archipelago of lost years. I
wonder why they chose to bring back the whale for this, because there's no time travel involved. The whale simply swims to South America.
In South America.
Like the time aspect of this magical whale is irrelevant here. It's just
he doesn't need that power, I guess.
Well, I will say that he's the only one where I'm like, I can kind of excuse the fact that he's like, well, I got to go swim to South America and then I'm going to come back. And it happens like in minutes, because it's like, okay, he's a time traveler. So we can say that happens.
Maybe that was
on his timeline.
Yeah.
But on the flip, there's a lot of Winterbolt going back and forth from the circus to the North Pole. And it's a very unclear amount of time, because like after everything goes bad and down and it's like, and the kids melt and everything, they're still hanging out at the circus for like an indefinite amount of time. Like the fireworks went off and then all this stuff happens and they go back and it's like, it's still nighttime and they're still hanging out at the circus. Like nothing like not a lot of time has passed. So there's a little confusing.
Winterbolt is allowed to travel freely to the shore where the beach and the circus are without the sleigh and his rain snakes. But then later on, he uses
Rudolph chases
those nonstop to go back and forth. There was one, I thought this was really clever. He has his own sleigh with the rain snakes. And when Frosty's worried about the last firework being set off, waiting for Santa to arrive, they see a sleigh in the sky and they're like, oh, snap, Santa is here. But it turns out to be Winterbolt instead. I thought, that's pretty good. That makes sense now why he has some kind of like evil sleigh. So that he can be mistaken for Santa.
Right.
But then
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then the snakes become attack snakes. They attack Rudolph, but Rudolph just fights them off.
Yeah, which I love the setup for that.
Blowing and Winterbolt's like, no.
Yeah, but it's because Aurora Borealis said he had to be brave. Like that was her like.
Be brave, be brave.
She did say that, and he apparently just had to be brave.
Be brave. Be very brave.
Yeah, which means kicking ass. Kicking ass, taking names.
So what I found hilarious at the end, how now all these animals are eating like the magic feed corn.
Okay, but were you rubbing up against the continuity on that? So the magic feed corn is established in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and it's created by another winter wizard called the Winter Warlock, who does not appear in this special. He is not even mentioned. And there's even a scene where Santa, when told, hey, this winter wizardy guy came and like, talked to us, and Santa's like, I wonder who it could be. I don't know. Who could that be? No memory of the winter wizard who gave him his powers and hooked him up and like was his BFF in that original special.
I appreciate at the end when
there's a lot of erasure is what I'm saying. There's Winter Warlock erasure. There's also Hermie the Misfit Elf erasure. Yeah. Frosty gets to sing his song. Yeah. That's messed up.
We're a couple of misfits.
Not a couple of nitwits.
What's the matter with misfits? That's where we fit in.
At the end when everything is cool and Frosty and family are going to head back to the North Pole with Santa and Mrs. Claus, Rudolph says, I'd like to stay back and help the circus get back on its feet. Because I'm guessing Rudolph's like, I'll be a good attraction. They can earn more and more money. And Santa just totally pulls the rug out from under Rudolph and is like, I don't know if they're going to need you because I gave the magical feed corn so all their animals can fly now. So it's, I don't really know that you're going to be a big deal here.
You're not special, sorry.
And Rudolph still stays. And then as soon as Santa leaves, Rudolph's like, I miss Santa. I'll be honest, I miss Santa.
And so Laney comes to his rescue and says, you're going to lead the parade, though.
Yeah, just like you led the sleigh, you're going to lead a parade through the sky with the flying animals. And Rudolph is like, that's cool, I'll do that instead. But there's no paying customers up there, so this is for naught. No one can see this.
That. I was like, who's paying for this show in the sky?
I thought maybe it was like the parade, because like that's the whole one of the things I love about old timey circuses is that idea that they do a parade before the circus to like get people excited about the circus to then come. Like so they do like walk them down Main Street to get everybody excited. So I thought maybe it's kind of like that.
As long as everybody looks up.
Yeah. One line that I think that jumps out at me. That I thought was funny is that there's one scene towards the end where Rudolph sees the ice cream guy's girlfriend, and he sees her and he just goes, "Lady, what happened?" You don't know her name?
Laney, what happened?
Like you've had like all this time. And it's like, and I don't know her name either. So it's like,
her name was Laney. Laney Elaine or something like that.
Yeah, Laney's Lily Lorraine's kid. Her daughter.
Okay, that's Laney and Lorraine. Okay, yeah, that's fair. She'll always be Lady to me.
Also, there's the bit when they're doing the regular circus performance. This is part of the one where they're trying to raise money, and Laney goes out for her performance, which is a high wire act. And she starts out on the high wire, and she's like, I forgot my parasol.
Yeah, you're just like,
and her mom walks out onto the rope and is like, you forgot your parasol. You need to keep a note about what you need to remember. And I'm like, you're on the rope too already. Like, you're both on the rope. I don't think a parasol is needed at this point. And yet still, they go off. And then we see Frosty doing his big act for the circus, which is his whole family sliding down a giant slide.
On their bellies.
And then landing on top of each other.
Cheerleading style.
Yes. That seems very dangerous.
Not for him and his kids. They're professionals.
Are they?
They're winter icons.
In this world, they are.
Yeah, they do establish that belly flopping is his thing.
Earlier in the movie, they showed the belly flop, so you knew this was out of left field or something.
Yeah,
that's true.
Dude, this script is tight. Don't look for any holes in this thing. It's airtight.
I mean,
are you frightened of what may happen?
No, my dear, not at all.
Final thoughts.
What is the ultimate goal of Winter Dude?
Oh, nothing much. Spend a few luxurious days at the seashore. Get to know Rudolph. Lead him astray, as it were.
Gee, it sounds like a pretty good idea.
Now,
like what Winter Bolt? What like
he wants to be loved.
Like, he wants to stop Rudolph. That's like the whole thing. But in the very beginning, he talked about he wants more power than Santa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the way to get more power than Santa is for all the kids to love him, and he'll give them more gifts than Santa gives.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
He said he'll give twice as many presents as Santa does, which, according to the text, that's 2 presents.
And I'm like, well,
and then he says he's going to turn.
Though, what are you doing?
He says then the kids are going to be like fat and lazy because they're just going to get everything that they want, and then they're just going to become like lethargic, and then somehow that's
going to release abominable snowmen too on them. So. I think he kind of forgot about
Abominable Snowman.
He kind of forgot about his plan, I think. And
I felt like they covered that in the very beginning, and then it just went into like stop Rudolph, and you kind of forgot about like the ultimate plan. And I'm like, it just seems it kind of fell apart at that point. But you didn't care because you were into the story about Rudolph and the circus. And you're like, what is going on?
So. I think it's like the ultimate like friendship movie. Like. We're friends till the end, like Chucky.
Well, I like that they like the whole thing sort of rides on like it has to happen before July 4th, just because that's what makes it a 4th of July movie, is that all this has to happen before the last firework at the last moment.
This movie brought to you by letter F, for sure.
Well, is there a moral to this story? Because whenever I watch my Christmas movies, I tend to try to come up with a moral for the Christmas movie, because it's a Christmas story. It tends to be a moral, even if it's not intended. What's the moral of this tale?
Help your friends through thick or thin.
Okay, I buy that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like they're trying to push that idea of like loyalty to friends and stuff, but I don't think the story itself successfully conveys that, because there's a lot of
and they turn on Rudolph immediately. So
I was gonna say there's a lot of second guessing of friends. There's a lot of
I'm sorry, Rudolph, but I don't want the twins associating with a dishonest reindeer.
Uncle Rudolph, why'd you do it?
No, wait. You don't understand.
Frosty, you must never tell them that I didn't do it.
But Rudolph.
Never.
Yeah, but Frosty didn't turn on him.
No, Frosty knowingly sacrificed his life.
But Frosty lost faith real quick. Like Frosty, like long before Rudolph, like Rudolph's like, chill out, Frosty. Like Santa's going to be here. Everything's going to be fine. And Frosty's freaking out. And Frosty's like, I don't trust Santa. I don't trust this.
Frosty's the only one of these characters that has known death, though. That's why.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, there you go. He's like, I've been there.
Frosty's like, I've been there. No, thank you.
No more puddles, thank you.
But I was surprised that Frosty like lost his life when he took his hat the first time, because I thought from the previous movie he didn't need the hat because Crystal gave him the kiss.
Yep. You got a good memory, Si. That's correct. Yes. In the second Frosty special, they established that his wife, her magic bouquet, I think, or something too.
Yeah, the bouquet. Yes.
No more Frosty. That's ridiculous. You have a wife, except for the formalities, that is, to help you now. There. Everyone knows the groom should have a flower in his buttonhole. That's just to say, I love you, Frosty.
Happy birthday.
What?
Yeah, that's like for all the parts with the stakes being raised, like I didn't feel like that was super successful because we've seen Frosty come back to life before. So when they talk about Frosty melting, it's kind of like, you could probably get him back. It's not the end of the world.
That does lead to one.
The original song basically says that, like, right? He'll he'll be back on Christmas Day.
Well, I did want to say that this lead to one last sad song in this movie where Frosty sings a song about how much he's going to miss his family when he dies. And he asks Winterbolt to please tell his wife how much he loves her.
What was that?
Dude, he's not gonna tell her anything.
No.
Of all people to ask.
I know. He's like, I'm gonna sacrifice my life. Go tell my children for me. Like
I think you've already framed a reindeer for a crime you didn't commit to get power.
Yeah,
right.
Seriously.
He's gonna remember to tell your wife that.
Yeah, I can't face my wife and kids. Can you do it for me? That's the real message is trust your ice cream man. Like, do whatever he asks you to do.
That's just the kind of guy he was. The other thing I should tell you about Mr. Tasty is that no one knows his true identity.
Who is he?
And if a strange wizard shows up with magical amulets, just take it, man. Like it's good times.
Mommy, we're saved. Oh, Daddy, we're not gonna melt.
Congratulations. Now you don't have to worry.
It's good times.
So thank you, Rankin Bass, for these nostalgic.
Yeah, so this, I think, was the last one. No, okay. We said that they did for
like a swan song, honestly, for everything else. They tried to cram so much in there.
Yeah,
I feel like a swan song of Rankin Bass Christmas special.
Yeah, it's.
But at least they gave us some good cartoons, though.
Yeah, dude. Look, even at their worst, I find Rankin Bass to be super interesting. Like, I feel like I can watch these and try to dissect what were they thinking. The crazy world building and the lore is all unique and ambitious. And I rather, like Icarus, they fly too high and I'm crashing down. And if nothing else, I like looking at the little puppets moving. And I like how everybody, when they sing and dance, they march. They do a lot of.
One day is good and the next day there's sorrow. I don't care what, long as I got my guy.
A little bit of that. But speaking of the power of friendship, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Joe, Cy, Dawn, everybody out in internet land who watches this video. We appreciate you hanging out with us. It's really nice. Do you guys have any final parting wishes for the children of America as we head into the Christmas season, which starts in a couple
Enjoy
weeks?
Enjoy your summer. Christmas is coming soon.
Yeah, be Christmas in July.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
I'll be back on Christmas Day.